Fractions and decimals, graphing calculator tutorial number 1. If you are watching this specific video right now, it means that we are not able to be in class with our graphing calculator. If we do get our graphing calculator, I'm going to have to find a way to film a separate video for that. For now, what I want you to do, if you look on the right, is I want you to pull up a few calculators using Calculator Soup, the unofficial calculator of Dylan's digital learning math class. We have Desmos, which is the true OG, the official calculator sponsor. But then this other one, you could look up Calculator Soup Simplifying Fractions Calculator, and also in a separate little tab here, Calculator Soup Decimal to Fraction Calculator. The graphing calculator has a function for each one of these things, and the whole point of this lesson is to teach you how to use it. But because we don't have them right now, we're going to adapt, and we're going to do this instead. So hit Preview Quiz now, and let me just show you how to use each one of these tools. All right, number 1 is about converting fractions to decimals. Anytime you have to convert a fraction to a decimal, universally, you just divide the top by the bottom. When you type that in Desmos, it actually creates a fraction, but then uses this bar as a division symbol to convert it for you. It's by far the easiest thing to do. We don't even need any other calculators. And in fact, you don't even need a zero anymore, I think. I think they've fixed this little red warning that used to be there for a reason. In fact, let's try that for number 2. Remember to use yours, not mine. If you just typed it in looking at my screen and you have a different number and got it wrong, that's what happened. But feel free to hit redo. Yeah, you don't even need the zero. Right there, you can see it. Instead, just type in your decimal with or without the zero. Totally up to you. All right, 1 out of 9 is going to be a long repeating decimal with a bunch of ones. And now I get to teach you about rounding. Ooh, one of my favorite parts of teaching math is helping people with rounding. I find that a lot of people struggle with rounding. It's something that in middle school or earlier they just didn't get. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do that now in a way that hopefully sticks in your mind and helps you for rounding for the rest of your life. Here we go. It says round your answer to 4 decimal places. So we've got the tenth, the hundredths, the thousandths, the 10,000ths. Either way, 4 digits. Since we want to go to 4 digits, I'm going to draw a vertical line right here that separates my 4th digit from the rest. Here are the steps to rounding. Step number 1. We only care about this number I'm pointing to that's right of our wall. We can ignore all the rest of them. And in many aspects, it's really good to ignore them because sometimes you could double round, even triple round if you're not careful and get the worst possible problem. This eliminates that. All we have in the world are our first 4 digits and this last one here. We only have 2 options for what this can round to be. Since we're rounding to the 4th digit, I'm going to copy the first 3 automatically in both cases. None of them are going to change. The only thing that can change is this 4th digit here. Either it's going to stay a 1 or it's going to round up to a 2. These are the only 2 possibilities that we can round this number to 4 decimal places. Here's how do we determine whether it's this one or this one. We look at this digit to the right of the wall, and here is the rhyme that'll help us in time. Is that number to the right of the wall, 5 or above? So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. If so, then we give it a shove and we round it up to the 2. However, if it's 4 or below, that's 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, so 4 or below, then we leave it a low. Nah. And we keep it 0.1111. 0.1111, yeah, that's 4 of them. Tough to say. Well, in this case, we look at that digit and we see it's a 1. And a 1 is 4 or below, so it's in this category where we leave it a low. Nah. And it's 0.1111. And that's how you round to 4 decimal places. If you round to 3, you do the same thing, but you only have the first 3 digits. 2 decimal places, it's only the first 2. And if it is the nearest tenth, then that would just be the first digit after the decimal place. Okay, that's rounding. Now we're doing decimals to fractions. 4/10 you can read this as. So first let me just explain a little old school way of doing this. 4/10 is 4/10. If you can do that much by yourself, then you can use your simplifying fractions calculator to reduce your 4/10. And it will remind you that 4/10 reduces to 2/5 because 4 and 10 can both be divided by 2, and 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5, so 2/5. If you can't do that much, then you do have a decimal to fraction calculator, which is what you have in your graphing calculator. Why I want you to be able to have access to that again, one day at least, because you can use that on lots of different tests, SAT, ACT, college placement tests, and it really just helps you get over the hump of that computation and focus on the more complex mathematics, which by high school, when you're taking this class, is where we're supposed to be. All right, it's 2 digits, so that's tenths, hundredths, so we'd write 75/100 and reduce that, or you can type it in here. Either way, 75/100 reduces to 3/4. And notice how it also still takes you through the steps, step by step. It's really cool. You can even scroll down, and it reduces it further and shows you why. I really like this step-by-step explanation of a calculator. 0.02 is 2 hundredths. 2/100 reduces to 1/50. And again, there it is. There's the step-by-step. 1/50. All right, so we've done fractions to decimals, decimals to fractions. Now we're going to look at some diagrams here. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7's not showing up for me. There it is, 7, 8. Little wedges. 2 of them are green, so I've got 2 out of 8. It wants it to be a decimal, so a reminder how to do that. We just go over to our decimals calculator. You type in 2/8, which reduces to 1/4. If I have 1/4 of a dollar, that's 25 cents, or 0.25. Money helps us with fractions and especially decimals. Okay. Number 8, a similar thing. I'm just going to count them manually. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 out of 12 are shaded in. Well, there it is as a decimal, and if we want to simplify 9 out of 12, can you see what number divides evenly into 9 and 12? Give you a clue, it rhymes with 3. Yeah, 3. 3 out of 4. Okay. And your last couple. These are what are known as options 3 and 4 in our graphing calculator for reducing fractions and decimals. For this, though, we're just going to do this separately. So 55 and 3/4. There's a way of turning that mixed fraction into a decimal in your calculator. But for now, let's type in 55 and 3/4. So there it is. Now, it's not going to give you just a whole decimal. So what you're going to want to do is separate it. We know we've got 55. What about the 3/4? Gross. Okay, what about the 3/4? Sorry about seeing my whole, what is that called? Desktop icon thing? I don't know. Anyway, 3/4 is 0.75. So that means that together we have 55.75. You just combine your whole number and your decimal. Okay. And reducing this improper fraction here, we go to our fraction reducer, 639/10. This would normally be also in our calculator. But it's not. Instead, it gives it to us right below 69, or 63, sorry, and 9/10, or 63 remainder 9. Don't need to hit system preferences. I think I'm just missing my calculators so much. It's so weird to do this assignment without them. The whole point of this assignment is to have them. I guess it's good to learn these online versions that you'll get to have in all the rest of your days, but I really miss my graphing calculators, and I hope that we're all back with them so I can teach you again how to use them. For now, submit all, finish. You will have gotten it correct. And there it is. 100%. We learned a lot of different things today. Calculators within Desmos, within Calculator Soup. Thank you for both the Desmos and Calculator Soup websites. They are really awesome and helpful to us. Best wishes on your day. Thanks for joining in. And I deeply look forward to teaching this to you again when we have our graphing calculators and can be safely in class. And if you're already there, then I will show you the other video with that as well when I film it. Bye-bye.